So what if we told you that behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood's most exclusive parties lies a web of shocking secrets, whisper rumors, and hidden footage? It sounds like something straight out of a suspense thriller, right? But this is no movie, this is real life. Or at least that's what Daniel Baldwin would have us believe. Recently, Baldwin, the 64-year-old brother of Alec Baldwin, dropped a bombshell during his appearance on the PBD podcast, and the details are juicier than the plot twist in a soap opera. Buckle up, because this story involves secret parties, hidden cameras, and allegations that could send shock waves.
The price, and that they're just selling to the individuals that are in those. This is what I heard. They're selling those videos. So if you're Tommy X, and Tommy X is a big movie star, and he was at some of the Diddy parties. He was in one of those bedrooms with 3 other men, and he's happily married to a woman, and blah. Tommy doesn't want.
According to Baldwin, Sean Diddy's infamous parties weren't just your run-of-the-mill celebrity gatherings. Sure, they had Hollywood Alabama listers and enough designer outfits to fill a fashion museum, but behind the velvet ropes, and under the surface of these glamorous events, something far darker might have been brewing. Baldwin claims that Diddy's parties had 2 faces. There was the one everyone saw, the Instagram-worthy saris filled with laughter, music, and star power, but then there was the other side. The one most people weren't invited to see. This was the after-hours, behind closed doors version, and according to Baldwin, it's where things got really interesting or really disturbing, depending on how you look at it.
Guys, we are lucky to have Precious Miora here, and she's been at the Diddy parties, and she's about to...
Now, if the government is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being, they have to ensure the safety of your...
Baldwin alleges that Diddy had cameras scattered throughout these private gatherings, capturing every moment. He has videos of the parties. Baldwin said during the podcast, "What I've heard from friends that are attorneys, friends of mine that have represented me before, agents and so on, is there's a bidding war going on right now, a bidding war for what you ask for these supposed tapes," which Baldwin claims contained footage of some of Hollywood's most famous faces in less than flattering situations. The idea here is simple but shocking. If you don't want your name or your face tied to these alleged tapes, you'd better pay up. Baldwin added they're driving that price up, because if you want your client and your famous actor to not be involved, or a famous singer to not come out, here's the price. It's like something out of a spy novel, except the players are your favorite actors, musicians, and cultural icons.
Epstein, and the theory about Epstein is, we know he filmed people for sure on that island. He has a lot of movies, a lot of films of people that are very powerful political figures. And entertainers, business people. So, do you really believe that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
Now, it's important to note that Baldwin himself admitted he's never seen these tapes. "I don't like to say things that I know unless I see it," he said. But that doesn't mean the rumors don't have legs. Hollywood, after all, thrives on whispers and speculation, and Baldwin's claims have only added fuel to a fire that's been smoldering for years. Stories about Diddy's parties have circulated for decades, with insiders hinting at the wild antics, secretive nature, and exclusivity of these events. But Baldwin's allegations take things to a whole new level if what he says is true. It means these parties weren't just about having fun, they were meticulously documented, and the footage is now being leveraged in ways that could shake up the entertainment world. Did you ever spend time with a guy did you ever meet? Baldwin's comments have led many to draw comparisons to other infamous scandals involving powerful men and their legged use of leverage to control others. He even likened these tapes to the rumored recordings that Jeffrey Epstein allegedly used to manipulate his network of high-profile contacts. Now, he has all that footage, supposedly, Baldwin said of Diddy, and it's going to be really interesting as time goes on. Interesting might be an understatement if these tapes exist, and that's still a big if they could implicate some of the most beloved figures in Hollywood. Imagine finding out that your favorite actor or singer was caught on one of these tapes. The fallout would be catastrophic, not just for the individuals involved, but for the entire industry.
I don't know how much. I don't like to say things that I know unless I see it. There's a little difference, you know. But was it discussed? Was there descriptions from people I know that were at those? Yes, but here's another thing. So how many of these big entertainment parties over the years and everything, with successful as you are, have you been around? Does anyone ever come up to you at a certain hour and say, "Okay, it's time to go"? At those...
What makes this story even more jaw-dropping is the alleged content of these recordings. Baldwin didn't go into specifics about what on the tapes, but other sources have suggested that the footage includes compromising situations involving both male and female celebrities. One witness, Kourtney Burgess, testified before a federal grand jury claiming have seen tapes that featured 8 well-known individuals, 3 of whom were reportedly minors at the time. Burgess, who was allegedly handed these tapes, By Diddy's late ex-girlfriend Kim Porter says the recordings are now in the hands of federal prosecutors. If true, this could be the smoking gun that ties Diddy to the allegations he's currently facing. But let's circle back to Baldwin's claim of a bidding war. If these tapes are indeed being sold to the highest bidder, it raises some serious ethical questions. Who's buying them, and why are they being purchased to protect reputations, or is there more sinister motive at play? And what happens if these tapes fall into the wrong hands? Baldwin implies that the stakes are sky high, with millions, perhaps even billions of currency being exchanged to keep certain names off the front pages. It's a chilling thought, and one that paints a picture of an entertainment industry more concerned with covering its tracks than seeking justice.
The investigations are always going to be a continuous and ongoing process. I'm sure at this point there's been an exchange of discovery, and not only that, but I think there's been a gag order placed on the attorneys with information that they can and cannot share.
Baldwin also provided some insight into the dynamics of Diddy's parties, describing a dual atmosphere that separated the casual attendees from the inner circle. There were the faces that showed up at the parties or the event that went to the big party, and then there was the late night crowd. He explained the doors got locked up, everyone, and the last 403 people were there. I was never at any of those, according to Baldwin. The less famous attendees were politely asked to leave at a certain point in the evening, clearing the way for a more exclusive and allegedly more scandalous gathering. Anyone that wasn't super famous or I'm with him or whatever were exited from the house. He said, "You were gone." This raises another intriguing question: who exactly was in that late night crowd? While Baldwin didn't name names, other reports have suggested that the guest list included some of the biggest names in Hollywood music and sports over the years. Diddy's parties have been attended by the likes of Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Jennifer Lopez, among others. But were these listers part of the after-hours festivities, or did they leave with the rest of the crowd? That's the million-dollar question, or perhaps the billion-dollar question, if Baldwin's claims about the bidding war are to be believed.